morning, y'all. Welcome back to the Faithful Farmerama. I'm so glad that you guys are here, and I'm really excited to be able to share with you the last garden tour and farm tour before summer starts going crazy here on the farm. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and ask you to go down below if you haven't before, and if you're new to my channel, please go down and find the subscribe button along with the little bell. You're going to want to click those so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Y'all, our garden is thriving. It is actually kind of crazy how much is going on in this garden in such a short time. Here in central Oklahoma, we are still having cold weather. Last night it got down to 42 degrees, and there are just some things like tomatoes and peppers that need 45 or above in order to grow well, and I haven't really planted anything. But guys, I have so much going on in this garden. So today I'm going to take you on a stroll around the farm, but also through the gardens to show you what is going on and what is to come. I'm so glad you guys are here. Y'all, have lots of peas growing. A while back I planted peas here in this lined tire, and my peas took a beating by the wind the other day, but look at all the flowers and future vegetables that we have. So in our big square bed, I put in a tomato plant that I wanted to see how it would do in this section here. And it's doing okay. It looks a little yellowish. I'm thinking I need to give it a little bit more fertilizer, but I do have some beautiful flowers, and there are also some beets right behind there. I planted those right around the last frost that we had, and they are just now starting to exploding. These are our onions. I planted these in the fall, and they really didn't do very much until we had all that snow, and after that they took off. I cannot wait to see how big and beautiful these onions are. Our asparagus has already gone to seed, but I plan on putting that in a bigger garden in the fall of this year. Broccoli. We have broccoli. I'm so excited that my broccoli actually made it through and is starting to grow and get tall. So the herb section of my garden has really grown. This is a sage bush, which I actually have divided since you've seen this, and lots of dill. I have tons of dill. I can't believe how much dill I have. Some of it actually came back from last year, and some of it is from new seed. In this part of the herb garden, I have Italian parsley, basil. Also, I have a few spots where there are parsley plants growing, but I also have marjoram and thyme. Here we have carrots. I planted these right before the frost that we had, and they are just now starting to get really tall. So here I planted kale. This is a curly kale. For those wanting recipes for kale, I like to use it in soups and also things like lasagna and any kind of pasta dish. Here we have garlic, If you don't know how to grow and pull and dry garlic, you can find that video in the card above. I cannot wait to pull this garlic sometime in probably end of June, early July. Here I have a lot of lettuce growing because it's that time of year. This is a purple romaine, and then this is a honey bib that I had planted. I have a couple of those throughout the gardens. And that sneaky little Italian parsley growing right there. So one of our newest additions to the garden is this old cast iron tub. Someone was throwing it away and we automatically thought, hey, we can plant in here. These are sweet potato vines. We're going to try and grow these in here this year and see how they do. So far, so good. Cilantro is just now starting to come up. And some more purple romaine. This bed is full of yellow onions, garlic, and red onions. They have been planted since the fall of last year, and they had a lot of, if you notice, bent tops. We had a very bad windstorm a couple days ago, and it just beat them up, but they are still growing. Here I have some Malabar spinach. It is a climbing spinach, a little different than the spinach you see in the store, but they are just now starting to sprout. Here you can actually see the red onions. They are starting to show their color, but also in the older onions that I had planted, right here, you can actually see the onion popping out from the dirt. Here are our newest potato beds, and I'm sorry, they are just overgrown right now. I just haven't had a chance to go in there. We are going to actually line this walkway with cardboard and then with brick pavers so that we can have a really good stable walkway. But I do have in the first bed cucumbers, gourds, some pumpkins, and one watermelon plant, which isn't looking too hot. But the other beds are doing great. They are our potatoes. Here are russets and Potomac, the red Potomac. I did plant one tomato plant in the very back corner, but the wind broke it. And then I have here, these are also a russet potato. And then in the middle, I planted winter squash and cut sunflowers, which the cut sunflowers, they only get to be about 2 to 3 feet tall. I will have those in the summertime to be able to put cut flowers in my house. And then at the end of this bed, we have what we call Harvest Moon. They are a purple potato, and they're just coming up above the dirt. I will, in a couple days, come back and put more dirt and mound the potatoes so that they will have a chance to grow even bigger and more. I have some garlic planted here, which doesn't seem to be doing very well. Now I've started growing some peas in these rise containers. They weren't doing too good when they were all stacked together, but I took them apart and now they are going crazy. There are pea pods everywhere. So my goal is to just keep them watered and let them grow. Lilies and snapdragons I also have more lettuce in this bed. I have some of the purple romaine and some of the bib. I also have pansies in here, and of course I have my sorrel, which continues to thrive. Here are some of our newest chickens. I had hatched these to give to our in-laws, and they decided that they just didn't want to have to take care of them, so they came home, and they are doing well, and they're little cute. This is a new bed that I put in a couple of weeks ago, and I just put all the plants in here. The gladiolas came from the cut flower garden, and the rest of the flowers were flowers that I had purchased. I just wanted to try and get this bed established for future vegetable gardening. The cut flower garden is a complete mess, but I will say I actually came out about a week and a half ago and went through all of the beds and tilled them over, got rid of all of the weeds, and left the dirt path in the middle, or the grass path in the middle. This path right here, we are in the process of getting bricks and stone, and we are going to actually pave that. So that is something that will go away. For right now, it is kind of a pain to keep control of, but once we get the pavers in there, I think it will be a whole lot better. The gardens have not been planted because, as I said before, here in Oklahoma, we are still having cold weather. And I was very worried about putting tomatoes down here because of the cold. So starting Tuesday of next week, my goal is to come down here and start planting tomatoes and peppers and other summer-like crops. In the meantime, here in this garden, we do have garlic growing. I have a couple flowers that have shown up from time to time. There's some more garlic on this side. I do have lilies that are growing, and they're getting a bunch of buds on the top, which I cannot wait to see just how beautiful they are closer to the summer. In our lined tires, we decided to put the squash and zucchini in this one here, and then corn in the other two. My seeds were not new, so of course my germination rate is very different on all of them. But I do have a couple squash growing. They look a little beat up because it's been raining for days. I do have a zucchini, and I have a white squash here growing. So also later this week, I plan on coming down here and replanting some of the ones that did not germinate, and also plan on adding more corn. This particular one, I used corn that I knew had been left outside, and it was, I want to say it's probably 2 years old, the seed. I kind of knew it wasn't going to germinate as much. I did get like 5 or 6 little plants, but I bought some new corn this year, It is called Gentleman's Corn, and I got it from a place in Ohio, and this corn is looking fabulous. I cannot wait to see how beautiful it is, but also taste how absolutely delicious corn is going to be in the middle of summer. I will probably plant this type of corn in the other planter. The orchard is also looking great. We have so many trees that are actually growing and thriving here in the orchard. I don't know that we'll have fruit this year because we only planted them last fall, but we shall see. The other things we have going on are some strawberries and blueberries, which I've put them inside of our pool yard because the donkey keeps eating everything. And in the strawberry planter, we do have amazing strawberries and mint growing. I have a lot of strawberries and I'm so excited this year. I really feel like the mint, adding the mint to this bed has totally helped keep the pests out, and we actually have delicious strawberries. We have some new friends on the farm. These are what I call beep beeps because they don't quack quite yet, so I've just continued to call them beep beeps, and that's what they are. They're so sweet. Well guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed our video and checking out the gardens where they stand right now, because I'm promising you in about a month they will be so overgrown and so full and so much work, but it's all so worth it. Even gardening in things like containers and pots that you may have laying around the house, or just empty buckets or bags or whatever you have to plant in, every little thing that you grow for yourself is so much better than anything that you can actually get anywhere else. Of course, the farmers markets are great, and buying from local farmers is really great too. So if you can't garden, shop local, find a farmer, find someone who gardens, and give them a couple dollars for some fresh produce and some fresh fruits. There's just nothing like it. So thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed our garden tour, and I look forward to the next one where it is just overgrowing and we are harvesting. Bye guys, have a great day.